communication using Python scripting related. We did, guys, and one student management related CUD operation kind of things using Python script we did. So in the last session, guys, first we are installing this module. We are installing this module. MySQL connector Python like one module is there, or else PyMySQL module also you can use the. That is all your wish. So later in MySQL screen, guys, in MySQL command line, you have to create the database like this name, and you have to select the DB as current DB. Inside that, you have to create a table with the required columns, ID, name, age, marks, with these all constraints, data types. So this is in database side you are doing, and later any one Python script you can create. And every .py is a Python script, guys. Okay, so now here you are doing first this one, importing this required module, and using that module connection you're going to create with required inputs. So for that one function I created, this function every time I'm going to use. So every time no need to give this all username, you host is what, user is what, password is what, database is what, like that. So simply we can use this one. And next here like this task wise we did, guys, insert the student related record. So connection object we are creating using that cursor object we are creating. In that cursor object execute method is there. In this execute method required query we are going to executing. So simply for inserting, this is the query we are using. Insert into table name of means parenthesis required columns, values of required values, dynamically directly values we can use. Otherwise so this is the function, guys. So whenever we are calling function we are sending some values. So those values we can pass here as a values here. So now these values are assigning, injecting to this query, injecting to this query. In this query, wherever percentage there, the percentage yes, they are going to bind in the values. So order important, guys. Name, age, marks. Here also you have to send same order. Okay. So next fetching all students related, select star from to table name query we are using. And next find the student with marks greater than 80, guys. So who are getting the students marks with more than 80, guys. Select star from table name where condition we are writing marks greater than 80. So here relational operators we can use a greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to, double equal to, like we can write it. So after getting data available here, using the fetch all method, each record you are getting, and that record coming into this row printing. Okay. So next update the student marks, guys, based on the student ID. So whatever the ID we are giving, in that ID based record with this new marks going to updating. So here for that updating, update table name followed by set marks equal to so and so new marks. These new marks we are going to updating here. Okay, update table name set marks equal to so and so. Only up to here if you are writing in this student table, all records marks with this given marks updating, all the records updating. I don't want all the records, guys. Only up to here if you are writing all the rows related marks updating with this new updated marks. So I want where ID equal to so and so place only, then only that ID matching related record only updating. Okay, so remember, guys, and delete the student who are having marks less than 35, simply who failed those all students information I want to delete. So delete from table name query we can use, guys. Delete from table name. So from this table name all the records deleting, but I don't want all the records where the marks less than 35 only I want to delete. Okay, like that. Next so here the lot of other tasks also there, guys. So as for this you can do development, guys. I shared already this material with you. So inside these three students and retrieve their records. Three students information you are inserting and getting. Okay, this is already we did some records we added and we fetched. So update the marks of the student with ID too. Okay, this related task also we did already in program. Fetch all the students who scored more than 80 already did, guys. Delete all the students who scored below 35 already we did. These all tasks we completed. Okay. So what happens if fetch students is called after deletion? After deleting all the records, fetch students, if I'm calling, no records there, guys. Empty object returning. Okay. How can you prevent the SQL injection in this script? How can you prevent the SQL injection, SQL kind of errors? How we are uh, preventing means controlling. So using this percentage S symbol, we can preventing as. So here the string type value we can enter or number type value we can enter, no problem. Okay, if we are not using this percentage yes related, so for string related quotations, for number related normal values, okay, we have to follow. So sometimes if we are not following that order, we may get error. So that's why how to preventing SQL injection in the Python script, like asking using that percentage symbol, we can prevent. So next here, get the average mark of all the students. All the students related average mark, how we are getting. We have an aggregation function, guys. Select average of marks from students we are using. So marks column based average finding and return, guys. So remaining function creating, connection object creating, cursor creating, execute query, and get data getting and printing. These all are common, guys. SQL query only changing as per the requirement. Okay. So find the topper value. Find the topper student with maximum marks, guys. Student with maximum marks. So how we are doing actually here? For example, you can open the MySQL. So here some students there, guys. So first here select a star from table name and just a student name only if I want. Student name only if I want. Then here name we can use name. Okay. So select name from student. All the names we are getting. Only top mark who are getting. So that name only I want to display. Okay, that student name only. So here order by order by order by order by what marks. Marks wise I'm ordering, guys, right now. Okay, so first for your understanding here, the star only I will use. So select a star from table name, order by marks. So marks wise ordering, guys, marks wise ordering, ascending order, low to high marks getting. So I want a descending order. Then here DESC we are writing. Descending order wise, marks wise you are getting. High marks to low marks you are getting. So this first record nothing but who are getting topest mark. Okay, so who is getting top mark, then first record there, guys. So now this is I want to get. So now here limit 1, then Ashok you're getting. Okay, so only name if I want, only name if I want, then name we can write Ashok. So who is getting topest mark means also getting topest mark, like that we can understanding. Okay, so here name and marks. Name and marks means name comma marks you can write. So Ashok and 90 marks like you're going to get. Okay. So like this SQL queries do practice, guys, more and more. And count the student for age related, guys. Age related, select age, count of star if you are using. So 20 age related so and so people, 30 age related so and so number of people available, like that. Ages wise counting all the students. Okay, group by age column you are using, group by age. So groups wise performing. And find the students whose name starts with A. Find the names, find the student names whose name starts with A. For example, here, right now, these are there, guys. So here, like operator, we have to use where the name like, where name like string format we can use. Where name starts with, for example, or if I'm using guys, where name starts with or and followed by anything, then those all you are going to get. Those all you are going to get it. Okay, now. So next here, first name can be any name, guys. First character can be anything. First character can be anything, and the second character must be or and followed by any other characters. It means so employee name, this student name must contains two inputs, guys. Student name must contains two inputs. Okay, at least two characters. First one can be anything. Second one must be or only. and then followed by 0 or more characters may allowed using this percentage. So minimum 2 characters. Second character should be R related all the records filtering. Now Srini, second character R is there. Okay, na? So like that, using the like related number of queries, we can write guys. Okay, task based related number of things we can write. Okay, na? So here a lot of tasks are given guys. This all I said to you. So do practice this all. Okay, na? And also interview questions related I given also. There also a lot of SQL queries related task based questions there. So do practice those all things. You will get good knowledge. Okay, na? And use internet guys for doing more practice for learning more subject related. Okay, yeah. So this is enough about the database related in this Python. Now today new chapter we are going to discussing is a new chapter we are going to discussing, that is OOPS concept guys. OOPS concept. So OOPS means object oriented programming. OOPS language, object oriented programming language. So what is OOP? What are the OOPS principle in this OOPS concept? What are the terms we are using regularly? What are the terms we are pronouncing or using? So purpose of this OOPS like this all we have to understand guys. Okay. So generally guys in this OOPS repeatedly we are using class. Okay. Create one class employee, create a student class, create a bank class like that. So what is class? What is the purpose of the class? How to creating class? Okay, like we will discuss. And next, object guys. After creating the class, for class we can create object. What is object? How to creating object? Object contains what? Purpose of the object is what? Like we have to understand. Okay, class, object. Next, method guys. So what is method? Purpose of method? How to creating method? How to accessing method? Like you have to understanding here. Okay, and the next attributes. Yes, attributes related. Attributes related. And the next self parameter related. Self parameter related. Okay, and the next types of variables. Yes, types of variables related. Types of different types of variables there, and also constructor guys. Constructor and the types of constructor and the types of constructor. Simply constructor and types, variables and types simply. Okay, types of variables directly given. Okay, next OOPS principles guys, important concept. OOPS principles. Okay, so again here when coming to the OOPS principles, here inheritance, and types. When coming to inheritance, again several types there. About each one required to know it. And the inheritance, polymorphism, and the types. Polymorphism and types. So runtime polymorphism, compile-time polymorphism like that. Okay, overloading, overriding concept there is here. We are going to discuss in here clearly. Okay. So next, encapsulation and types related guys. Encapsulation and types here. What is encapsulation? Purpose of encapsulation, and private members how to creating, protect members how to creating, public members how to creating, access modifiers concept there. So about them we are going to discuss in here. Okay. So next here the abstraction. So what is abstraction? How to creating abstraction class, abstract class? How to creating concrete class? Can we create object for abstract class or not? What is the purpose of the abstract class? Like we are going to discussing. And next, after completing this all, guys, so types of methods also we'll discuss. So here, just the method, how to creating, how to accessing, like I'll let you know. And separately one day I'll take care for types of methods, different types of method there, instance method, static method, class methods like that. Differences we'll discuss. Okay. And along with these all things, guys, some special concepts there. The super method is there. Super method is there. The MRO technique is there. MRO concept. Okay. And name mangling technique there. Name mangling technique. Name mangling concept. So like some terms there, guys, we are going to use diamond problem like this all together we are discussing. It's a big chapter, guys. A lot of terms there. lot of concept there, one by one. So we have to learn and we'll do coding wise practice.
Sir, how much time will it take to finish OOPS concept? In days?
Minimum 1 week time required.
1 week.
Okay, na? With
Sir,
1 day, 2 day not
sir.
completing.
And are we also going to do some project on it related to it?
Yeah, concept related, I'll take care, no problem.
Yeah. Thank
Sir,
you.
Yeah.
sir, could you please repeat about polymorphism?
I mean, later we'll discuss more clearly. What are the topics here? Just given the names only. So when coming to the
Okay, sir.
polymorphism, here the runtime polymorphism, compile time polymorphism, it means overloading, overriding there. What is overloading? What is overriding? Is Python supporting overloading or not? If not supporting, what we need to do for supporting? Like that, when discussing about this topic, more points you'll get it. Okay. So 1 day for this one, 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 like that. We are spending more days on those principles, and again 1 day for this one, and for this purpose, 2-3 days, like that. Okay, no?
Okay, sir.
Yes. Okay, now I'll start one by one, guys. So, starting onwards, see guys here, up to these points, before the OOPS principles. Okay, so class means what, how to creating, object means what, how to creating, what is purpose, method, how to creating, what is purpose of method, how we are accessing, like separately we are discussing, except my inputs. Okay, and later when we are creating main programming, so all these things, all concepts together we are using in single program. Classes, objects, methods, attributes, parameters, constructors, different types of variables, all together we are using in our coding. So these all concept together we are mixing in this OOPS principles. So while discussing this all, so these all terms we are using. That's why first of all these all terms separately we are focusing, and later together we can use here while developing OOPS principles related. Okay, no? So rules you have to accept, guys, first. So before that, what is OOP? Some definitions I will discuss here. So what is OOP? OOP stands for object-oriented programming, simply. Object-oriented programming. Okay, it is a programming paradigm based on the concepts of objects and classes. Simply based on the concepts of objects related, this OOPS concept working, guys. Simply major concept, this one, objects. What is object and all we'll discuss. Okay, so objects contain data part and operations part, guys. Every object can contains data part and operations part. Object related data and object related operations part. Starting this in Python, data part and operations part related I discussed, guys. For example, you can consider any one organization or any one object. Okay, any one object, guys. For example, bank related customers, guys. Bank customers. Bank customers, if you are considering, guys, every customer related data part is there, customer related operations part there. So customer related data part is nothing but customer ID, simply CID I'm writing, customer name, customer account number, guys, customer account number, okay, customer address, these all are data part of the customer. Okay, now for representing this data part of the customer, every programming language providing what? Every programming language providing data types concept and variables concept, guys. Data types and variables. Okay. For example, customer name is string type related, customer ID is integer type related, like that. So using the variable concept here, the a equal to 10, like we are writing. In Python, Python follows dynamic memory allocation based on the value memory is deciding. So no need to write data type before the variable name like Java. Okay, this is the data type, guys. So this is the variable name. So for representing data, in every programming language, guys, the data types and variables concept there, but our Python follows the dynamic data type concept. So no need to define data type here, just variable name and value. We can give it enough. Okay. So next, operations part of the customer, guys. Operations part of the customer. It means customer can do what? Customer can deposit money, customer can withdraw the money, customer can check the balance inquiry, like that. So customer related operations part, representation purpose, every programming language providing functions concept, and methods concept, guys. Functions and the methods. So already we discussed about the functions. Okay. So, and now we are going to discussing about the methods in this OOPS concept. So these methods, why we are using means for representing the object related operations part. For representing the data part of the object, we are going to use the variables concept and data types concept. Read this one. So every object in the real time, guys, every object contains the data part and the operations part related. For data part representation related attributes, we are using as some. So data technically called as attributes. As attributes are nothing but variables. Variables are holding the some data. Variables holding the some data. Okay, and here the behaviors we can consider like behaviors or operations are nothing but functions or methods, like that. Okay, this is the OOPS related overview. And next, in OOP, everything revolves around creating using the classes and objects, guys, to organize and manage in the softwares more easily. So in this OOPS concept, every day we are creating classes, objects, creating classes, class related objects, creating using objects. We are calling the class related properties. Okay, na? So this is a point related to this OOP. Now, why this OOP important in Python? Why this is important? Okay, so a lot of benefits there, guys, using this OOPS concept. Python supports both object-oriented techniques and the procedural-oriented techniques. Okay, so but OOP offers many advantages, especially for larger applications. For larger application development purpose, so this OOPS concept we are using. So reusability code we are getting, guys. Lot of reusability we are getting, and some other advantages, scalability, modularity, integrity, like these all advantages you're going to get. Okay, for example, check it here. Code reusability is the main task, guys. Using the OOPS principles, the code reusability we are getting. So here the classes and inheritance allows reuse of existing code. For example, here we are going to create one class. In this class, the number of methods we are creating, every method having different behavior, guys. Okay, and next child classes we are creating, we are inheriting from these parent classes. Existing these all properties we can reuse here without recreating. So again, here there are some new functionalities we are developing as so one more class we are creating, and all these above class, parent class and this child class related, all together we are inheriting into this grandchild class, guys. Okay, like that reusability we are getting. Okay, modularity is there, guys. Code is divided into logical units, nothing but classes wise, and making it easier to maintain. Multiple classes we are creating as parent one, for example, class 1, class 2, class 3, like that. So this class properties inheriting into this child and inheriting into this next class. Okay, and here one more class we can create. These properties, if we want, we can inherit into this class. So here one more class there. So these two classes related properties we can inherit into here. Like that, different modules wise, guys, different pieces wise we are creating classes, and in every module different requirement related logics we are writing, and we can import them wherever we required, reuse them. So that is the modularity we are calling. And the scalability also, guys, easier to extend the programs using the classes and objects. Okay, and using the OOPS, if we are developing application, huge number of requests we can send, and we can get the response also more fastly, guys. This is nothing but scalability behavior. And real world modeling, guys. So in real world, everything we can consider like object. Everything is a object. Car is object. Laptop is object. Pen is object. Mouse is object, like that. So every real world entity related object we can define as a logical entity, guys, using this OOPS concept. Okay. So objects map closely to real world entities like a car, bank, school, city, like that. So maintainability also more easy, guys. So classes, easily we can reuse it. Classes we can divide like multiple subclasses wise. Main class dividing like subclasses wise, guys, and easier to debug, update, manage, like a different advantages we are getting. So that's why this OOPS concept we are using for developing real-time large kind of applications. Okay, guys. So basic things, guys, is all. So Python is a functional-oriented programming language. Python is a object-oriented programming language also. Using the functional-oriented programming technique, generally desktop-based applications we can do, guys, using the functions concept. For example, using C language, compilers related, drivers related kind of applications developing, same like that, here using functions we can do. Okay, and like a C++ or Java, we can use object-oriented programming techniques also for developing the web-based applications, guys. Okay, so multi-user applications we can develop using this object-oriented programming technique. So this is all available in the material. You can check it, guys. Okay, now these all terms we are going to learn, I said. So now here first, what is a class? Okay, one by one, we'll discuss this. A class is in Python, we can consider like a blueprint or a template used to create the object. A class in Python is a blueprint or a template which is used to create the object for that class. So real world related everything we can consider like object. That object coding wise, if we want to create via the classes, we can represent, guys. Okay, na? So in Python, classes we can create by using class keyword. For example, this one also, right? So class is a keyword, guys. In Python, we have one keyword name called class. Class is a keyword. Using this class keyword, we can create user defined classes. So using this class keyword, we can create the user defined classes. How to creating, I'll let you know that syntax, guys. For example, right now here, so check it here, syntax, guys. Syntax. So now here, class is a keyword followed by the user defined class name. It must be inheriting from one predefined class, guys. So later write. So here class related logics we can write. So column symbol in there means indented lines required. At least one line required. At most n number of lines can write. If you don't want to write any lines, simply pass keyword we can use. Syntactically correct. Technically we are not getting any outputs. So class keyword followed by the class name. If we are creating like this, guys, Python internally converting like this. Class keyword followed by the user defined class name followed by the object. This is one of the predefined class, guys. Object is one of the predefined class in Python. Okay, from this class we can derive our user defined class. Just we are writing like this. Internally Python treated like this one. This class is inheriting from this parent class. So this is considered like a parent class. This is like a child class. From this parent, this child class is derived, means developed. This is nothing but a concept of inheritance. Later we'll discuss about the inheritance more. Okay, then? So if you want to create one class which is inheriting from the default object class, then no need to write explicitly. Like this we can write. Internally it is considering like this one. Okay, so remember that. And next here, one more class A is there, guys. Assumption. One class A is there, dummy class name. And here the later logics we can write whatever you want. And the next one more class B is there. So if you want to inherit A related, you have to write like this. So here we are not going to write any separate keywords, guys. We are not going to write any separate keywords for inheritance. Okay. So A class there, A related some properties we are writing, some development we are writing. What we are writing here, I'll let you know, just wait. So next, this A related properties I want to inherit into B, then just B of A. B of means parenthesis. B of A we are writing. In some languages, guys, extends keyword, include keyword, like some keywords they are using. In Python, no keywords. Just class B of A, like we are writing. So here B related property is there. Because of this inheritance, all these A related properties also you are getting. So now in this B class, all together available. B properties there, A properties there. All together we can use inside the B. Okay, now like this we are writing, and the inheritance concept, guys, this one separately we are going to discuss in coming. Okay, now so remember. So a class in Python is a blueprint. Simply a class is a blueprint of the objects we are saying, and class is a keyword in Python. Simply this one. Class is a keyword, or else in Python we have a class keyword. Using that class keyword, we can create our user-defined classes. Okay. So next, how to creating this is syntax is a class keyword followed by the class name. By default, it is inheriting from the parent class object, like that. Next, some more points I'll let you know. So class defines the attributes and methods. Guys. So simply every class may contains here. Every class may contains attributes and methods. Simply here attributes, yes, attributes and methods. Every class may contains some attributes and methods. What class contains attributes and methods? Attributes nothing but variables which are storing some values. For representing the values, we are using attributes. And for representing the operations or actions, we are going to use methods. Methods representing the what this class can do, and attributes representing this class related information. Simply data part of the class using the attributes, operations part of the class using the methods we can represent. Are you clear, guys? Data part and operations part of the current class. So for example, I want to open a new one. Okay, first of all here in the drive 83, create one folder. Oops, like that. This is I want to open, guys, using my PyCharm, and open. Now D drive 83. So here, oops, select. Okay, first project, new window. Now here I want to create one Python script, guys. So here, basic file. This is the basic file. Simply demo1, like I'm writing. Just like a first program one, demo one, whatever you want, you can take it. So here the oops related I want to write. Okay. So this one I want to close, guys. Okay. Here last lesson also I given, guys, just 2 minutes. So coming week going to start only Django session. Python full stack session separate one, only Django session separate one. Django with REST API. Django with REST API. Very, very important, guys, for web development related. So we're going to developing applications like this. Okay, now. So here only registrations related, after registration, logins related, after login, redirecting to somewhere. So here after login, then here this if invalid username password there, the validations are displaying like this. Okay, and if successfully login, guys, here the 1 2 3. If successfully login, then redirected to somewhere. And again here say logout button displaying and login person name displaying. If we want to hear the profile image also we can display here. Profile login person profile. Okay, and we can update this one. For example, if I'm clicking here, so that profile information displaying, name is what, email is what, and the update related form displaying, you can change that name like that, profile updating, forget passwords, and change passwords related. Like this is a web application, guys. Front end, back end, database, and all together there in class only. So every day some logics applying here based on the requirement. Okay. So finally, it is going to be becoming like a main application, guys. Like number of applications are going to developing in Django, web development related. Anyone interesting? If you want to becoming like a web developer, then choose Django. Python with the tkinter, Python with the Django, Python with a Flask, like you can learn for developing web application. Simply UI development, web development related. But Django is the more important. 80% of the projects Python with Django developing. So that's why first priority giving to Django, later Flask. Using tkinter module, only desktop-based applications are possible to develop, not web-based application. Okay. Single user application only using tkinter. The multi-user applications using Django, we can do it. So now you all people are eligible to learn that Django course, guys. Okay, no? So anyone interesting can plan about that. Okay, I'll close now this one. Right. Okay, now come to here. So now check it, guys. Here, class followed by the class name, one employee class I'm creating. So class contains what? Attributes. Every class may contains attributes. Attributes nothing but, for example, variables. I said employee name equal to Srini, like I'm using. Okay, now next employee age, guys. Simply age equal to, for example, 35 I'm using. Okay, so these things called attributes, guys. So simply here, for understanding purpose, I will use attributes. And next, a class may contain some methods also, I said. A class may contain some methods. So now I want to create methods. So methods also same like functions, using def keyword only we are going to creating, guys, using def keyword only. Okay, no? So for example, display method I'm writing. See, whenever I'm typing display as a method, self parameter automatically coming. I will let you know about that self. Okay, every method must be required at least one parameter. The parameter by default here considering like a self. And then here the method related logics can write, guys, here. Method related logics can write here. Okay, so simply I'm going to write here, welcome to method. Okay, welcome to method, like just dummy message I'm displaying. So this is the method, guys. Okay, no? So one point, remember, method and the class related differentiation you have to understand. Okay, so this is a class, I said, guys. This is a class. So outside the class using the def, outside the class using the def keyword, if we are defining any structure, that is called a function. That is called a function, guys. This one. Outside the class, if we are defining using def keyword any structure, that is a function. Okay, no? So when creating function, here the parameters are optional. Parameters may available, may not available as per the requirement. Okay, and how this function is calling, using the function name with the parenthesis. So here, if any parameter there, same number of arguments or values we are sending to here. This is the function related. Now the same def structure related, same def keyword inside the class, if we are using, okay, then considering like a method, guys, considering like a method. So a method must be required at least one parameter, that is a self parameter. Okay, na? So function must be required parameters or optional parameters. For function, optional parameters, but for method must be required one parameter followed by here the n number of parameters we can define. Okay, at least one parameter required. Okay, next, this function how calling, directly by using function name. Now this method, how calling? Directly we are not calling. So we have to create a object for our class. For our class, we have to create object. By using that object reference, we have to call this method, or we can call this method name. Clear, guys? So how to creating object? What is object like? We have to learn it. So simply here, right now I'm focusing on how to creating class by using the class keyword creating followed by the class name. This class name is a identifier name. Identifier rules, starting this we discussed starting this. So by following the identifier rules, we are creating. Class contains what attributes, means variables having values. Class may contain some methods also. How to creating methods means like this creating. So in single class, if we want n number of methods, we can create. As for the requirement, we can create it, guys. Okay. So now here, create a employee class with some attributes and methods. Okay, this is the syntax, guys, for that. Create one employee class with some attributes and methods. Next, coming to here. So this point completing, and class is a blueprint of the house. Simply, guys, class is a blueprint for a house. This is a real-time example. So one class I'm creating for house, how to constructing house, how many rooms required, and every room how many feet required, like that. Designing, guys. Class is a blueprint for house, I said. So one blueprint, if we are creating for house, then we can use the same blueprint to build many houses. To build the many houses. That is nothing but objects. First one class we are creating with required objects. For that class objects, we are creating n number of objects we can create. Every object having same logics, class related logics. Okay, later in every object different inputs we can send. Like for example, multiple houses when we are constructing, each house different colors, different sizes may available. Okay, no, like that. So next, for one class we can create n number of objects. How to creating objects, I will let you know, guys. Okay, so whenever creating object for our class, then Python is instantiated memory for our class and its members. Inside the class, what are attributes we are creating, what are the methods we are creating. For these all things, memory is going to create whenever object is creating for our class. When creating object for our class, then memory is going to create. Memory is instantiated. Instantiated means allocating memory for all these class members in the memory location. In the memory location. Okay, that is the point about the class, guys. Okay, so these all syntaxes and all I explained. And now coming to the object, guys. An object is an instance of a class. Instance means memory. Object is nothing but memory of the class, simply. An object is an instance of a class in object-oriented programming. It represents a real-world entity with a state and behavior, guys. Every object represents a real-world entity related state and behaviors. Simply, every object contains state and behavior. State means data part. State representing the data part. Okay, every object belongs to one class. For example, employee class, one object is there, employee object. In that employee object, employee name, employee salary, employee age, like that, data maintaining. And employee can do what? That is the behavior, nothing but using methods we are going to representing. Okay, so class related attributes and methods we can access using the object, guys, using the object. So next, what is method? Altogether we are using inside the class. That's why one word answer I'm telling for everyone. Okay, every point. A method is nothing but a function that belongs to a class. A method is nothing but a function that belongs to a class. Using def keyword, if we are creating any structure inside the class, considering like a method. Every method must be required at least one parameter. Generally, we are using self parameter. Is this mandatory or not? Later you will understand. Slowly wait. Okay. So method defines the behavior or actions that objects created from that class can perform. Simply for a class, we are creating object, guys. Okay. So that object contains some methods also. Methods representing what can do that class. Class related actions representing through the methods. Those methods we can execute via the objects. Okay. So simply guys, method is nothing but a function inside the class. Inside the class function we are creating, that is technically called as method. Okay, now? So how to creating method, syntax explained like this we are creating. Now here create a object to create a object to the employee class and access the class members and access the class members. How to create object to employee class and how to access in the class members later. Now we are going to discuss this. So here I'm creating one employee class and I'm creating some variables as employee name equal to something Srini, employee age equal to something 35, and I want to create one method also. Okay, method and welcome to method. Same above code only I created. Some attributes and methods, whatever the methods you want, you can create it. Okay, so now next here, for example, here one more method, def message method, comma some parameters also we can use. Okay, so now here I'm going to print hello, whatever the name we are sending, that name, hello Ramu, hello Ravi, like that I want to print. Okay, so yes, so creating one employee class with some data attributes and some methods. Next, I want to create object, guys. Here create object. How to creating object for our class? Simply here, what is our class name? The class name with parenthesis, guys. What is class name there? The class name using parenthesis we can create the object. So because of this line, object is creating. It means one memory is creating. That memory referencing to any one variable. Okay. So EMP like referencing. EMP employee or whatever you want. This is a variable name. This variable is considering like a employee class object. This variable is considering like a employee class object. This object is nothing but identifier name. Follow the identifier rules and create it. Okay, now how to creating object for a class? If anyone asking, by using the class name with parenthesis, we can create the object for our current class and assign to one variable. That variable is considered like object reference or class reference. Okay, now I created. So far, any problem is there not? Check it, run this one. So if any error there, problem there, no errors, means properly executing. So I created a class with attributes and methods, and I created object for class also. Next, how to accessing these class members, class variables and methods, all considering like a class related members, okay, or class properties. Now, class related properties, if we want access, we have to use this object reference emp dot display. So now here emp representing this employee class, emp representing this employee class. In that display there are not checking display method. So top to bottom checking guys, yes, here display there. So if display is there, executing this one. So here in this display method, how many parameters there? One parameter, that is a self, guys. So to this self parameter, by default, this emp object reference as a input to sending to here, guys, as a input to sending to this self. Okay, for every parameter input required, guys, to this self parameter, by default, this current class object reference sending as input. Okay. Next, if any other parameter there, for those also values required. Right now here no other parameter. Simply we are calling like that, going inside, executing this one. Okay. So now check it, execute. So welcome to method, or else simply welcome to display method. If you want, you can write display. Welcome to display method. Now you're getting welcome to display method. Next, I want to call this message also, guys. Okay, here emp dot message of now here so like can use okay. So check it here. So emp representing employee class, inside that looking for message method. Yes, message method is available. Okay. Now to this self this current class object reference passing, and here one parameter is there. Yes, to that parameter at the time of calling method we are sending value. Okay. When calling method, in this method parenthesis we are sending value, guys. Here if two parameter there, then two values we are sending. If three parameter there, three values we are sending. N number of parameters if there, n number of values we have to send. Otherwise type error we are getting. Previously in functions also, if two parameter there, two values we are sending. If 10 parameter there, 10 values we are sending. Equal number count required. Otherwise the type error returning. Same like here also. Okay. So this is a concept. Now if I'm executing, so now see here, hello Ashok, you're waiting. Okay, no? So here if I'm sending more values, guys, if I'm sending more values, expected 1, actually here including this counting 2, but given how many 3, these are the 2 values, this is 1 value. So totally 3 values given, guys. So now check it output, type error, employee class message method takes 2 positional argument, but 3 were given. 3 were given like that coming. Taking 2, this one and this one. For first one, this is input. For second one, this is input. This is extra 1. So required 2, given 3, like that error throw in. Okay. So remember, guys, carefully. Right now about this self, I didn't explain in every method one parameter required at least, that is generally self we are using. That point accept right now. Okay. And whenever we are calling this particular method, so here one parameter is there, to this parameter input required. So by default this current class object sending as input. So now onwards this self is considering like a employee object only. Self is nothing but employee object only. Okay, now I'm telling about the self also. Remember, guys, self is a parameter. Self is a parameter inside the method as a first input. At least one parameter required. That parameter name can be any name, X, Y, Z, whatever. The parameter name can be any name, guys. But generally we are using self parameter. This first parameter accepting current class object reference as a input, and now onwards this parameter is acting like this object inside this method, inside the method. Okay. So in this place any parameter we can use X, Y, Z, your name, my name, whatever, but general coding standard self we are using. Okay, no? So if you are using here some X, later X dot, like if you are using other developers, what is X, like that getting confusing. So that's why standards we are going to be following. Okay, now in this class, I created variables and methods. Methods I accessed like this, guys. Methods I accessed object name dot method 1, object name dot method 2. So in this method, if any other parameter there except self, then to those parameters at the time of calling the method, we are sending input. That is you have to understand right now. If no other parameter there except self, then no need to pass values. So this is you have to get knowledge right now. And next, how to accessing these variables? How to accessing variables? So now here only outside using this. Now Okay, one print line, one gap line I'm using. And now here I want to print, guys. I want to print, so employee dot e name, employee dot e name. If you want, you can write a message here, employee name is like that, employee name printing, and next employee age, emp dot age, like that editing. So in this emp only, this all name and age also loading, guys. In that, whenever the creating like this, whenever the creating this one, executing this one, so one memory is creating. This memory is referencing to this emp, guys. Emp. Inside that, now here, so Srini value is there with reference name what? E name. And one more age value is there, one more memory with a reference age, and one function memory is there with a reference display, guys, with a reference display, like this display, and one more memory is there with a reference message, like this internally structure creating. Okay, so now here the emp dot display used means, so emp means this entire memory is finding using the emp. In this dot display means using this, okay, simply using this, so identifying this memory. In this memory, what are the lines there? Those lines going to executing. Okay, and the next emp dot message means coming to here, and these lines going to executing. So in this memory, two inputs required, two inputs. So now at the time of calling, only one input is sending. For another input, again value I sent. Okay, like this. And the next emp dot e name we can use, emp dot e name. So in this memory, what is there, Srini? emp dot age 35. These values we are going to accessing. Okay, so now print employee name is Srini, age is 35. We are getting outside the class. Outside the class. See, guys, here class I created. This is class scope is okay. So up to here only. This is the class related scope. So class definition and body of the class. Body of the class. So this is class scope up to here only. These statements are belongs to normal statements only. Outside the class, we have to create object for our class. Outside the class, we are creating object for our class, and using that object reference, we can access the class related members like variables and methods. Okay, now, and these data members inside the class also we can access. Inside the class, inside these methods also we can access. I'll let you know about that one separately. Now here, I don't want this one, and I don't want to call. Okay, right now you can see, guys, 1 point. Okay, I'll remove. No problem. So here, display one I'm using. Display one, here display only there. So emp representing this employee class, inside that looking for display one, not there. Then which exception you are expecting? Which exception are you expecting, guys? So most of the people expecting name error, really name error or any other error coming, we'll check it. So here someone asking, without parameter, can we create a method? I said rule.
But display one is not a method. Display is the method.
I'll let you know that one. Wait. So without parameter, can we create a method, like someone asking? So every method, at least one parameter required, I said. That is the rule. Again, don't ask like that. Without parameter, can we create? You can create, you will get exception. Okay, no? So remember that. And now here, so looking for display but here I'm calling display one, but here available display. So then what is output? I can check it here. So attribute error we are getting as here, not name error, attribute error. Why? I'll say now here. Employee object has no attribute display one. Okay, did you mean display like that? Asking. So now here, Python console, you can open Python console. It's like ideally tool, guys. It's like ideally tool. See here, I'm going to use a list. So list of 10, 20 there. I want to add, is it deleted? Okay. List equal to 10, 20. Okay. Now into this list, I want to add 30 value. Is this possible? I want to add 30 into the list. Can I add like that? What is output? Is it working or not?
No.
So how to adding using append method or extend method or insert method? But I'm trying to use add method. This is a method, object name dot add method. So to this object, if this method is working, then properly adding this value. To this method, if this name not existing, then you are going to get attribute error, not name error. Okay, na? This is the method name, guys. Method name. So name error when you are getting, for example, a equal to 10 assign. If I'm trying to print b, this is my user defined name, then you are going to get name error. Okay. So when working with objects, guys, object dot something method name we are using. If that method are not available, then attribute error we are getting. List object has no attribute add like that. Are you clear now? So same like that. This is employee object. Employee object does not having this display one attribute like that. Attribute error displaying. Okay. So remember, guys, that one. And now here I'm calling display properly. So coming to here and welcome to display method printing. And inside this print again here the employee name. So employee name here self dot name and the employee age then self dot age also we can use. Okay, so here employee name is like there, guys, or else simply here they can write a message. So outside class. Now check it here. So here the employee name Srini, employee age 35. Outside class, again employee name is Srini, age is 35, like we are getting. So now check it, guys. Here the object reference I used emp.ename like that. Outside the class, this reference name I used. Inside the class, so whenever I'm calling this statement, so this emp sending as an input to this self. So now onward, this self is nothing but what? EMP only. Okay, that's why this self I used here. Self.ename, self.age. Okay, in this place, if we want EMP also, we can use EMP also. That is a static one. This is a dynamic one. How we can say this is a dynamic, EMP is a static, I'll let you know. Okay, na? So now in this EMP, this name and age loading. So that's why name and age I'm accessing. Okay, so like this we can use this. Is it clear? Someone asking how to access in class variables. Like this we can access. Class variables inside method. Inside method and outside the class. So simply both are given here. Rules important, guys. A lot of rules there. So once following the rules, then OOPS concept, OOPS principles I will discuss easily. So next check it here. So emp dot here, self dot name, self dot age like I accessed. So next here, same like this also I want to access, guys, using the emp like that. So now check it here. One print gap I'm using, and again there's two things. Okay, now come to here. So here the self dot related, and here the emp dot ename, emp dot is like I'm accessing. Okay, so inside the class this one, if we want here one print message inside class, inside class. So after printing this display, so one print line gap I'm getting, and next outside the class you are getting these two guys. Check it here. Inside the class using the self, using the ename I accessed. Outside the class using the ename I accessed. So now there's two things outside the class working or not. Check it guys. Outside the class here. Yeah. So self parameter not working outside the class. Why means whenever we are sending this emp to the self, then only working inside the class in any method. But outside I'm trying to accessing, that's why you're going to get error. Now name error you're getting. Name self is not defined. Name self is not defined like that. Error you are going to get it guys because of these things. So always blindly remember self parameter outside the class not working. Only class reference emp can use. And the next yeah, one more print. Yeah, what is our class name here? Employee. Using this class name also we can access this employee.ename, employee.age. Okay, so these are two lines. Here also I'm using outside. Okay, so both inside and outside working guys. So now here inside the class using the ename guys, using the cell, using the ename emp attribute, and using the class name all accessed. Outside the class, so emp we can use, class name also we can use, no problem for accessing. So here types of variables concept there I will let you know about these variables. Inside the class, outside the method there, these things. Inside the class, outside the method, if creating called as class variables. Class variables. Class variables simply here the class variables. Class variables are using the class name, or using the class object reference, or using the self parameter, we can access inside the class in any method. Inside the class in any method using self or using object reference, using class reference, this one, using the class name, anything we can use access. Outside the class using the object reference or using the class name only possible, not the self. This is you have to understand. So different types of variable there. Based on those variables, we can access here. All variables not possible to access like that. So separately types of variables, I will let you know this without confusing here. Okay, now. So here, finally, what we are discussing is here. So I hope you are understanding about the class, how to creating classes, and how to creating object for our class, and how to creating methods inside the class, and about the self parameter. About the self parameter. Are you clear about these four terms? Class how to creating, class contains what, objects how to creating, and using objects how we are accessing methods, and also attributes, guys. Attributes also nothing but variables. This all now we completed in this session only. So today I'll upload one material. In that material, you will get this all. And some other concepts also there. Tomorrow I'll continue guys. In that material, constructor related there. The constructor related, I will let you know in the next session. Okay, no? Okay. So now I'll stop now this session here. I will meet tomorrow, guys. So before coming to the next session, do reading guys. These all basic terms, and you will feel more comfortable in the next session. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. See you. Bye.
Recording stopped.